Okay, there we go. I just put my mic on, and I was just a ditz doing this, but okay. Anyways, welcome to my channel. This is your girl Michelle, who's, you know, pretty much laughing, kinda a little bit. I may have pissed off a few little Anthem and Terra fanboys, which is kind of fucking hilarious. Pardon my French, but it's amazing how some of these people defend, literally defend on Anthem or Terra. Now, as you know about my little rant back, I think of what a couple of weeks ago, you know, the fun little things here and there. So, um, so it turns out I pissed off a few fanboys, between Anthem and Terra. And I'm going to get to it because some of them thought me being too truthful about how bad between Terra and Anthem just completely just sucked to no end. And my biggest thing is that the way sometimes you get people, these fanboys, it's kind of like what A-Thoughts would say is like, how much these COD fanboys would just suck the golden cod, you know what. I just think it's just really absolutely hilarious. You know, for me being a truthful individual here, and I'm not going to go without saying this, I'm not going to lie, but for me being a truthful individual about certain fanboys who get really butthurt over the fact when you start speaking truth about a game that they really like, they're defending it because they know right off the top of their minds that, oh yeah, it's a cool game, but in truth that sometimes a certain game just blatantly just blows major donkey. And we all know look, I'm not going to compare that statement to the Clerks 2 video, which everybody remembers, that certain said scene about Kinky Kelly and the sexy stud. We're not going to get into that part. But, but, just the sheer honesty, there's some fanboys out there who have to defend the game because they know they're in denial of the actual true fact that the actual game sucks. Doesn't matter if it's Anthem, doesn't matter if it's Terra. It's just funny when these fanboys just freaking blow their fucking minds and just totally, to the point of, I don't know how to really say it. I think it's just kind of like one of those things that there's some people that just get upset about certain things. And, look, everybody's entitled to their opinions. Me playing more Warframe than I ever have, which for the past 6 months, and, I'm not going to say. I mean, we have your Warframe fanboys, we have your COD fanboys, which is a big leap from Warframe to COD. But I'm going to be perfectly honest. I happen to love Warframe more than I did, and my opinions are just going to be entitled that of which. I'm not going to be totally wrong or deny that feeling, of playing my favorite game, which we all have favorite games, little pet peeves here and there. Some people get hurt because you speak the truth about certain topics, and when you get to those certain topics, you kind of wonder exactly how much you really pissed off these quote-unquote fanboys, and especially that the ones that are in the biggest denial, and it's not Anthem, or the COD fanboys who are in the biggest denials because of, they think Black Ops 4 is like really awesome and it's good, and you kind of want to yarf at times when they say that because in truth, we all know, last year when Treyarch, what David Vonderhaar was supposed to, I don't want to tear apart Black Ops 4 because I already knew where that was going. I knew that it was going to start sucking major donkey. But I knew it. I bet it right off the bat because of the fact that after playing, not being a big fan of Call of Duty, not anymore, of all the political BS that's going on with that. When you start playing other games, either whether if it's new releases like Anthem that just came out, and that just already took a big mess of dump on inside the John Jay. We all know the last name, and I feel bad for Anthem. I feel bad for BioWare. Okay, everybody thought, and when this is what happened, I'm gonna go back now, jumping back from COD to between Terra and Anthem. So the truth of the matter is, I like the, without being disrespectful to BioWare, not being disrespectful to the BioWare had what they could do. They tried what they could do for BioWare had tried to do before. I could give them kudos. I can give them credit for doing the best they can to come out with a game. Hey, look, okay, maybe you were rushed. And I feel bad for the developers, designers, even the programmers at BioWare, and I can relate to about feeling bad. But I think the biggest problem is here, and the more I thought about it, and the more I saw it, it was more of, I think truly, in my perspective, I believe BioWare was pretty much rushed by EA. And speaking of EA, and I don't want to tear them apart, but everybody knows in June, which is coming up, everybody knows about the E3 gaming event that's going on, that's taking place. And when I feel that, I feel in a way that I'm happy that, okay, E3 is coming out for 2019 in June, which is only 3 months away. And and what from the rumor is, and from what's been confirmed by Young Yeah, he did say that EA was going to miss out on a few conferences because of the video games, coming out. I don't know the full detail what was going on with Sony at that end, because also Sony is not going to attend to the E3 event. And some people feel that with Sony not being there, but we all know what's happening. Sony has a project going on, and the rumor is, which is not 100% confirmed because right now they're doing a prototype, and my personal feelings are that this particular prototype, everybody knows that there's a rumor going on about a PlayStation 5 coming out, which I don't know very much about the details, but PlayStation 5 will be coming out, but it's in development right now. Then we also have another one, but then again, that's not part of Sony. Other things are coming out from Sony, which are somewhat being delayed. So that's why Sony's not going to be at the E3 conference. But EA doing a quote-unquote video viral on about their new games that are coming out. But to be perfectly honest, the new Battlefield game is coming out in October, November from EA. Let's just hope this one's not a big, utter cluster chuck from versus when they did the new Battlefield, which obviously came out, I think, a few months ago, which nobody really liked, and, butts were sore about the whole thing. How gaming companies, if you want to go back during that, certain gaming companies were trying to rewrite history, but that's neither here or there. I mean, there's some people who just don't like that, and it's kind of it's a video game. It's not supposed to be a real history thing, and you got the historians saying about it, and gamers. There's a big difference between real life historians and versus video gamers, but that's a different topic on its own. Another thing that's been going on, supposedly right now, I don't know, in my last video I did say something, for some of those who haven't watched my previous video, I will say it again. Now, here's a warning in a warning in a nutshell, okay? This goes back to Anthem's little debacle just recently. I had just placed a phone call. I I bought the game during the midnight, the pre-order midnight release. Did a midnight release video of Anthem. If you haven't seen it yet, when I first did the midnight release, the first broadcast of it, I felt stoked. I felt excited. I was so hyped about Anthem. Okay, and I kind of thought it was gonna be the same thing as Warframe. And okay, I'll just be perfectly honest here. I did like Anthem to a point, but when I realized that after the point of like the long loading times, all the I didn't think much about the glitches or anything like that. So after like the next day, they did the patch. That's where things got worse. That's where things got hairy. To the point where the game itself was starting to act funky. So after a while, I heard about the thing that was going on, that the massive crashing and people getting banned out for no reason. Like, supposedly, I guess BioWare had done something to a gamer, a YouTuber. I believe his name was Glad or something like that. And I found out that he got banned off from the game because of some type of exploit he found. But I think in truth, it was a glitch. So to narrow it down a little bit more, to summarize it better, I would have to say this, that people have tried to get refunds through Sony when they bought Anthem, but here's a warning. I don't know, like I said, you guys may not have seen the video, but there was a little warning thing that was going on. Okay, if you're gonna buy Anthem, now there's a lot of people out there who can buy Anthem, who can download the digital copy, the pre-order copy especially, or the game. But more likely it's the pre-order copy that you would get a refund back. Now, my biggest thing here, going back to this, touching back up on it really quick, and this is where the butts got sore, because there's some fans of Anthem who are defending Anthem through thick and thin, who think, Anthem's the best, is that the other thing. Well, meanwhile, you have about half the player base just freaking got up and quit Anthem because of the major glitches and malfunctions within the game. That or Anthem would actually cause you to have your PS4 get bricked, and therefore it becomes a problem. Well, anyways, I was lucky I didn't have that happen to my PS4. It didn't reset, it didn't get bricked or anything like that. But having that being said, so getting back to about the thing with Sony, I did call Sony. Now, Sony gave me some BS, which I thought was BS personally. And my biggest thing with what happened with Anthem and Sony. So I called Sony, the 800 number. I told them, hey, look, been having problems with Anthem. I was having issues myself with it. With the connection being tossed out from the main screen and stuff like that. Having these glitches and errors and stuff. So I call Sony, and with Sony, having to wait about more than 10 minutes. Okay, first off, the waiting time for that was bad. What's even worse, if you go online with Sony, it's a lot longer. And I tried both. I first tried online. Wait time, okay, it's like less than 10 minutes. But you had numbers of how many people were ahead of you, which I thought that really irritated the piss out of me, number one. Number two, what got me a little bit more irritated than normal was the fact that now, this is where I'm going to get into it. When I called Sony, I told them what the problem was, and I asked for to get a refund back on Anthem. So pretty much they put me on hold for about like 2 minutes. But the thing is, it was longer than 2 minutes. They put me on hold for about 5 minutes. So 5 minutes pass, and the representative from Sony says, well, unfortunately, I cannot give you a refund. And I'm thinking to myself, by the fact that my jaw dropped, and I'm thinking about to myself, okay, so you mean to tell me you couldn't refund me the game. And of course, this representative said, "Oh, well, gee, I can't refund you the game because it was used." And I'm thinking in the back of my mind, the utter sheer bullshit I had to hear about. Okay? Now, here's a little thing. If you bought Anthem and you had problems, like technical problems, or if you got kicked out, or whatever the case may be, and I'm thinking to myself on that, and I'm like, so I told the representative, I says, so you're telling me I can't get a refund because the game, because I played it, it was used. So the fact that I played the entire game, I wasted like my $80 on the special edition, and you couldn't refund me the money. Of course, now the game was given to me as a birthday present, so I was given $80 to buy the pre-order. So, without that being said, Sony pretty much said, well, guess what? You're shit out of luck. We can't give you the refund. Therefore, that was the big motherfucker, or motherfuck you to me. And I just like, yeah, okay, thanks a lot, Sony, because now you didn't help me get the refund I needed. So, until future things are, fixed, once Anthem is quote unquote fixed, I have it. I have the data still. I have it saved on my PS4, but I uninstalled the game itself. Therefore, I'm not going to play it until those issues have been addressed and/or fixed, because I don't want my PS4 getting bricked. And so now I went back to my Latin love of everything that's all good and holy. As you can tell, I'm on Warframe, and I get these fanboys who are in response to a video I did. There was a person I knew, well, a friend of mine, who's a hardcore fanboy of Anthem, and we're no longer friends because of it. The fact that he thought it was a good idea that he would stand up for Anthem, and he gave me some shit about what was going on, so I pretty much am no longer that person's friend. So, without that being said, I feel that going back to why I'm laughing is between the crap I had to deal with the Anthem fan base, or those who are trying to be denying it, saying it's a good game, but in truth, really, the game had a lot of potential glitches. And for a game to be rushed like that, I don't think this is really BioWare's fault. I think this is kind of more indirect of the parent company, EA, which again, I believe they were the ones that rushed Anthem. I believe that they rushed BioWare to get Anthem, to get these generated sales of $6 million, which really didn't help, because all EA cares about is the money that comes in, the money they want to take, especially that whole crap that they did for the microtransactions, which was another, nightmare on its own. So, I am going to be betting that the reason why EA is dodging out of this, the E3 event for 2019, is the fact they want to try to avoid any backlash, maybe any backlash from customers or people or gamers who get the special invite. I think they're trying to save themselves from being humiliated more than they already have, given the fact of their latest little endeavors that they've been doing. Some of you may have followed Young Ya on his channel about what they did with Star Wars Battlefront 2, the microtransactions, and the Fair Trade Commission had somehow somewhat got a little bit involved with certain games. So you're going to see a lot of interesting things happen this year with E3 2019. Now, everybody who plays Anthem, not Anthem, anybody who plays Warframe, of course, TennoCon's coming out, so you have to get your ticket in advance for TennoCon if you are a huge Warframe player. The tickets are on sale now, so get them before they sell out. I wish I could go to TennoCon. I really would, but I don't have right now. My finances for me are just kind of limited at the moment. I mean, I would more than likely participate. If I did that, I would have made the costume already for my favorite character, Garuda. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen. Like I said, it's right now my funds are limited for certain events to go to. TennoCon is one I would love to go to, but it's not going to happen. And if there's anybody who's still playing, if anybody's friends are still playing Anthem or still having that problem with the game, with that being crashed, if they try to get their refund back, it's not going to happen because Sony's going to say, well, you already have it and you already played it, so you're not going to get a refund. And, you know, and it becomes a problem. I think Sony should be fixing those issues to do what's wrong, take what's wrong and turn it right. Especially what if you bought the game. I mean, they can't you know, the one thing I don't understand is, like, if you buy Anthem and you tell them you want to get a refund, but yet you never played it, but they're going to give the refund to the people who never played it, who download it, which I think is really freaked up. Because now at that point, how do you know if the game is glitched if you haven't played it? But then when you call Sony, they're not going to give you the refund. And, I mean, it's complete, utter BS if you really want the truth. And I just think it's funny in one way, but I also think that it's sad. Because now, if they tell you you're going to have to get in touch with the developer of the game, you know, meaning Anthem or whatever the game you decide to get a refund for, it's kind of like, why do I need to get in touch with the developer when Sony, who pretty much published the game for the pre-order, but they're going to rob you of your own money, whether if the game is broken or not. So I think what should happen, I think Sony's PR, okay, forget about EA, forget about Anthem, forget about BioWare. This is what's going to happen. If Sony keeps denying people of the right to get a refund from a broken game they know they published out, whether if it's a pre-order or not, you know, any game that Sony does, ever since back in 2000, I believe it was 2013, 2012, 2013. If some of you remember when Sony had that issue where it took them how many months before they got the services back online again? Was it 4 months because of the hackers who went into Sony servers? Now, I'm going to drive a nail into this and say that ever since that incident that happened with Sony back in 2013, 2012, 2013, Sony's PR is still on that rocky state. So imagine if they keep denying people refunds for a busted game. How do you think Sony's PR how do you think Sony's PR is gonna last? I mean, let's think about this here. I mean, Sony's PR is still probably going to be broken. I mean, they already lost. I mean, they're slowly getting back their reputation, but it's not really holding out very well. So we gotta wait and see. So right now I'm just like completely going off here, and just pretty much I'm gonna end the video by saying, in any case, how do I put this? So I'm gonna end the video by saying, be careful what games you get. If there's a problem where the game, whether if it's a digital copy or you go to GameStop, and the truth of the matter is, whatever version, whatever you get off the console or the game, you know, within the store, and the game, it turns out to be busted, and if either Sony or GameStop or any retail store tells you they can't refund you a game, regardless of whether if it just came out or even like after the midnight release, and they tell you they can't refund you it, that's a load of shit. Because you can actually still get your money back, and you know, I tell them, hey, look, you know, I paid an $80 or $120, you know, like, for an example, you buy like a special edition that's maybe more than $80. Like, let's say you get the package deal, and they tell you, well, we can't reimburse you for it, I would just be firm about it and say, if you don't reimburse me for it, then then just have to do something else. You're just gonna have to say, hey, look, I'll take my business elsewhere next time. But that's pretty much all I gotta say is just be aware of what you get in the future for games. I would actually do more of like research, watch other people play. Like research it on YouTube. If you see a new game you want, just don't do what I did, was just saying, oh, assume it's a wonderful game and then get ripped off. Just do the research, and if it looks good, get it. If if someone's playing it, you see on the view, on the YouTube channel, it looks like shit, don't waste your money. Don't do what I did. Don't waste your money on something that would just suck, and later on you're going to regret it, which is the word buyer's remorse. Anyways, it's your girl Michelle. I'm going to say peace, love, and happiness, and please stay tuned for another live stream. I don't know if it's me tonight, but it'll probably be on Monday. So anyways, check out the other videos if you haven't yet, and I don't know, leave a comment, leave a like down below. I mean, it's whatever you guys want to do. Anyways, it's your girl Michelle. I'm going to say peace, love, happiness, and till then, game on, and game on. Bye for now.